let's think about the 0.7% aid budget. That was sold to me by David Cameron on the basis that if we adopted that as we did in 2013 and delivered it for the first time, that we'd shame other developed nations into matching our generosity. And history shows that just isn't true. As a Conservative, I'm interested in the efficacy not only of vaccines but also of government policy, and it seems slightly bizarre that we measure the effectiveness of our aid budget not in outcomes, what we get out, what we deliver with our aid, but on just purely on the measure of how much taxpayers' money.
Well, you just heard a very concrete example from Kerry Mulligan there. Sorry to interrupt, but you've heard a very, very concrete example, which is that fewer Afghan children will be saved from trafficking in the next 10 months because of those cuts to the aid budget. So more children will be trafficked, sold into exploitation and abused as a result of that delay.
That is a tragedy in itself. But there are many tragedies that go on in the world. Not all of them can fall on the shoulders of the UK taxpayer. £10 billion, and we're delivering a vaccine at cost to the rest of the world, which is the only viable vaccine that's going to be used in any volume around the developing world. I don't know what more the UK taxpayer could have done this year than deliver that.
I'll tell you what more they could have done. They could have, you could argue, kept the promise that they made enshrined in law. It's also been said that a global pandemic is the worst time to cut aid. When you hear from water aid companies saying this is money needed for sanitation, for hygiene, we know that poor conditions, poor countries, India we've seen are suffering. When they do, it doesn't take long to get here. We are all interconnected in the pandemic.
Yes, and there's much more we can do. And now that we've left the European Union, I'd like to see our foreign aid department coming forward with ideas for selective free trade deals with developing countries to give them sustainable economic development by trading UK tariff-free. That's something we can do, and we should be doing a lot more of it now that we have the ability to do so. So
no aid whatsoever? I mean, would you be happy to see it?
No, I'm not saying no.
I'm asking you that. Sorry, I'm asking you.
Not at all. I think disaster relief, acute aid is always going to be necessary, and the British public would want that to happen. And quite honestly, Emily, you know, misspending UK taxpayers' money aids nobody.